This Top 10 is brought to you by Blue Apron, the service that delivers fresh ingredients and easy-to-follow recipes right to your door. If you're like me and spend way too much money eating out, Blue Apron gives you the option for top-notch meals that you can cook right from home for less than $10 per meal per person. I spent that much on one burrito for lunch the other day. You'll love how easy it is to create incredible home-cooked meals with Blue Apron. Like the spiced zucchini enchiladas with creamy lime and tomato rice. Try out Blue Apron today and get your first 3 meals for free with free shipping by heading to blueapron.com/top10. That's blueapron.com/top10.
Well, it's Father's Day again, and I'm reminded that I still don't know who or where my father is. So I put together a list of all the dads I wish I had and knew. Hey, I'm Boomstick for Screw Attack's Top 10 Dads.
Number 10.
While he's not anyone's actual biological dad, there's no doubt that Piccolo was more of a father to Gohan than Goku ever was. I mean, the green alien began Gohan's combat training, getting him ready for when Vegeta and Nappa arrived. Okay, sure, Goku was dead, but regardless, Piccolo still put in the work. Over time, Gohan and the Namekian formed a father-son relationship which would last lifetimes. Piccolo has protected Gohan time and time again, even sacrificing himself for the boy. If you need any further proof on what a good alien dad Piccolo is, here he is filling in Goku, the child's own father, on how his son thinks.
He doesn't thirst for battle and mayhem. He's not a fighter like you.
Huh? While a lot of the blame could be placed at the feet of Goku for not being around, you really have to give it to Piccolo for stepping up. That's why Gohan trusts Piccolo to watch his daughter a whole lot more than Grandpa Goku.
Number 9.
As a former agent of the 3rd Echelon and executor of the 5th Freedom, Sam Fisher is the last spy you wanna F with. But when he's not saving the world or kicking ass, his favorite way to unwind is by staying in touch with his only daughter, Sarah. This guy will do anything for his kid. I mean, he's saved her from enemies time and time again. Toss in the fact that this guy still found time in between being a super spy and killing bad guys to help Sarah grow from a teenage misfit to a full-grown woman. At one point in time, Sam even tries to retire and settle down near Sarah in order to spend more time with her. But of course, that would make for a pretty boring stealth game, and before you know it, he's back out on the streets killing guard dogs with his bare hands. At least he did a good enough job raising Sarah that she'll be keeping a plate warm at Thanksgiving while he's out saving America. Remember, kids, freedom isn't free. It costs at least a few dead dogs and a truckload of terrorists. The only downside to having him as a father is that he's probably gonna know everything you're up to.
Number 8.
So what if your dad was like Office Dad to the heavens, who threw lightning bolts and had sex with everything? Sounds good, right? Well, that's Zeus, head honcho of all Greek mythology, and he is without a doubt one of the coolest dads ever. Simply by him being your dad makes you a demigod with all sorts of weird powers like Herculean strength or divine beauty. And more often than not, you know you're destined to become a legend among humanity, doing things like killing Gorgons or getting a dumb man to send 1,000 ships your way. Now, there are downsides to having a god for a father, like the fact that he is almost never around, or maybe that he probably tricked your mother into having sex with him by being a goat or something. And then there's the whole issue of rebelling against your dad. Every kid does it, but Zeus can hold a serious grudge. Remember when he found out Prometheus gave humans fire? He chained that guy to a rock and had an eagle eat his liver. Regardless, the powers make it worth it.
Number 7.
When you think Fast and the Furious, you're probably thinking fast cars and explosive action. But I'm thinking of an awesome dad who I'd be proud to call Pup. While he started tracking down Dom and crew when they were framed for murder, Luke Hobbs eventually becomes part of the team, and we find out that he's the father of an adorable smack-talking little girl. But let's just take a moment to talk about how insanely awesome Luke Hobbs is. The man once picked up a torpedo with one hand and then threw it. He downed a drone, tore off its minigun, and somehow fired it despite the lack of a firing mechanism. He wills the gun to fire. Plus, the guy's service sidearm is a Smith & Wesson 629 competitor revolver, chambered in .44 Magnum. Luke Hobbs is a badass who knows the true meaning of family.
Number 6.
Bryan Mills is a retired CIA agent with a particular set of skills. Skills which come in very handy when it comes to rescuing his kidnapped daughter Kim from a bunch of Albanian sex slavers. And when I say rescue, what I really mean is leaving a trail of death and destruction across Europe. He breaks every bone in the human body, shoots quite a few assholes in the face, and even tortures a man until the lights go out, all to save his daughter. And that's all just in the first movie. Unfortunately for Bryan, the enemies he makes along the way would come back to kidnap and even kill his family members throughout the trilogy, but you know that at the very least, you have a father that will do anything to save you. And if it's too late, you bet your ass you're gonna be avenged with extreme prejudice.
Number 5.
A devoted libertarian with a mighty mustache, Ron Swanson is the director of the Pawnee, Indiana Parks and Recreation Department. So, how the hell did a pencil-pushing government employee make this list? Easy! Ron is the embodiment of all that is man. He built his first chair at the age of 5, first married when he was 15 to his Sunday school teacher. Nice. And one night, he ate all the bacon in a restaurant.
Give me all the bacon and eggs you have.
All of it! Ron is so manly, you feel intimidated just sitting at his desk thanks to the swivel shot of shotgun and claymore pointed directly at you. He's also a fan of music and moonlights as the jazz man Duke Silver, where he serenades all the lonely cougars out there. If only my mom would have gone to a different bar every once in a while. She might have met Ron. Instead, he met Xena and her 2 girls, which he became an awesome father to.
Number 4.
What, you're surprised that I would pick such an obvious dad? I mean, come on, who wouldn't want a billionaire vigilante as a stepdad, or even a real dad? Bruce Wayne has been both of these a few times now, and with each new child comes a new sidekick for Batman. I mean, they're all Robin, but, some go on to become vigilantes like Nightwing or Red Robin. Others are brutally murdered and resurrected as anti-heroes like the Red Hood. Regardless, for the limited time as a kid, you just get to ride in the Batmobile, spend money on ridiculous toys, and tag along with the master detective on his adventures. Plus, you could get away with a lot, since Bruce probably wants to be there for you the way his father couldn't. Just think of all the crazy shenanigans you'd get into when he wasn't home. Terrorizing Alfred, playing with the giant animatronic T-Rex in the Batcave? How'd he even get that thing? Man, just thinking about all this is worth the risk of being murdered by a villain.
Number 3.
As a mage of the Fairy Tale Guild, you'd expect each member to have some pretty interesting parents. But Natsu's dad, IGNEEL, is above and beyond. Because he's a goddamn dragon! Sure, Natsu had a human family, but most were killed off by a different dragon. So IGNEEL literally took Natsu under his wing and taught him how to read, write, and fight. The way of the dragon. IGNEEL also teaches Natsu the lost art of fire dragon slayer magic, which seems dangerous given that IGNEEL is a dragon himself, but I suppose he's just confident. Guess that's why he's the fire dragon king. And even though dragons have tried their best to remove themselves from human affairs, IGNEEL really cares about Natsu. So much so that he sends him 400 years into the future to protect him and the world from some sort of apocalypse. Now, I know that feel of being abandoned, but something about it being a dragon just makes it a bit better.
Number 2.
When you're a hard-ass debt collector in London, having your kid tag along seems like a pretty bad idea. But Big Chris and Little Chris don't give a shit. In the classic documentary Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, these two are a duo you just don't mess with. And what an awesome dad! Not only is every day take your kid to work day, but it's great to see how Big Chris has Little Chris's back in even the most dangerous of situations. Need to whack some dudes in an elevator? Check. How about that douche in the tanning salon? Done. Tired of Sting's crappy music? And there we go. Big Chris has you covered. There really isn't anything these two can't accomplish. And while Big Chris is a ruthless enforcer, he's got tact. So keep the language around Little Chris PG, and whatever you do, don't disrespect him or his son.
It's number 1.
If there was one father you'd take with you into the apocalypse, Joel from The Last of Us is that man. A weapons dealer with a heart of gold, Joel teams up with Ellie to seek out the Fireflies and find a cure for the weird mushroom people nightmare they live in. Along the way, they encounter all sorts of baddies from bandits to cannibals, and they kill all of them. This dad knows what it takes to be a survivor. Plus, he did a great job taking care of Ellie, because when he almost croaks after being impaled by some rebar, Ellie helps him survive the winter. What a team! By spring, they arrive at their destination, and that's where Joel's parenting truly shines. When scientists say the only way to find the cure and save all of humanity is to kill Ellie, Joel straight up kills the scientists. That's right, this guy doomed the world, all for his adoptive daughter. If that's not dadly dedication, I don't know what is. For our secret number 11, you've heard of dads that have a bunch of kids. Hell, some of them get a reality TV show, but no one has a page on Jango Fett. I mean, the guy's got literal armies of kids. Now, sure, he didn't get to make them the fun way, but hey, that's a lot of dadly responsibility.